Yes.
Ah, great, great. We can now begin.
Pardon? It's okay now?
Yeah, it's fine. Go ahead.
Awesome. So as I was saying, I'm going to do this a bit differently so that you can get to understand even better on how I'm going to do the presentation. So I'm going to project what I'll be writing. Okay, so I'll be writing on the book, and I'm going to project as we go on from the first step down to the last part. So I'm not going to use the slides. Okay. So the only thing I'll use on slides probably are the videos that I'll be showing what probably the key leaders have been talking about. But for the presentation, I'm going to be writing so that you can get to understand even better. All right?
Okay.
Awesome. So just allow me to turn my camera. Right, I believe you can see my book.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. So anything that you'll not be able to see, kindly let me know. Okay, so first of all, we are going to be talking about blockchain technology. All right. So first of all, about blockchain technology, we are going to be talking about it in terms of a revolution, because we've been having different revolution over time, and we are going to talk about it on revolution in terms of money, because blockchain technology is really, really wide. All right, so we're only going to touch a bit of it, and that is the money part. All right, now, before we go to the fourth revolution, which is the blockchain technology, probably allow me to go back in history a bit to when the revolution started to where we are. So we're going to look at money, how it has been changing from the first revolution to where we currently are, okay, and where the money is going, okay. So the first revolution that we had was the Agrarian Revolution, okay. And during the Agrarian Revolution, you will agree with me that we didn't have money. The only means of exchange that we had was barter trade. All right. And with barter trade, basically what it meant is that we used to exchange goods for goods, goods for services, and services for services. All right. Although you're going to agree with me that during this time we had a few challenges. For example, Jeremiah, you have a cow and I have a goat. For us to do that exchange, you're going to realize that if I only have one goat, it's not going to be worth the one cow. So it makes transactions very difficult. All right. So there was need for something different in a way that we could have something that will hold value for different values. And that is when the second revolution came in, which is the Industrial Revolution. So when the Industrial Revolution came in, this is when the first currency was formed, which is the fiat currency. So the fiat currency, we all know it as the paper money, right? Now the paper money is what we currently use for exchange, for buying goods and services. And you're also going to realize that with paper money, we've also had our own challenges. For instance, paper money is a bit bulky, okay? So that means if you want to carry a large sum of money in your pocket, it becomes a bit of a problem. Then you're also going to realize that paper money has led to a lot of challenge. For instance, if you are given, for example, 300,000 to carry in your pocket and walk around with, you're going to realize that it's going to make you feel to have insecurity issues. So it has led to a lot of insecurity in terms of carrying the money at ease. And it has also led to a lot of theft. It has led to a lot of corruption and so many other things. In terms of corruption, you're going to realize that at some point, you're going to realize that the government has been telling us that maybe we've lost money. Maybe let's say, for example, 20 billion Kenya shillings, of which we cannot trace. So once it has disappeared, that's it. Okay, we cannot follow it through. We can't know where it went and where it came from. Okay, so there was need for another way of transaction, and that is when we had the third revolution that came in, which is the internet revolution. So the internet revolution also came up with a different currency, of which is digital money, or the internet money. Now you're going to realize that this one gave rise to things like ATM cards, that made transactions easier, that also made holding a huge amount of money easier, all right? Then also it gave rise to mobile money, things like M-Pesa and PayPal and so many others. So this one you're going to realize the same 300,000 that you could not carry in your pocket in a form of paper money, you can still carry it in your ATM card with ease without having to worry about security and so many other things, okay? Although here we also have a few challenges. For instance, you can send money to a wrong number. And once you do that, it's very difficult for you to trace back the money, especially once somebody has decided to withdraw and throw away the line, it becomes difficult for you to get back the money, all right? So we needed something else that would help us curb these challenges, okay? And during the market collapse in 2008, that is when things started changing, where people wanted to have money that did not lose value, for instance, okay? And that is when the blockchain technology came in. So you can call it blockchain technology or blockchain revolution, okay? Now this blockchain revolution has come with so many advantages. For instance, it has come with a lot of transparency. Because number one, you're going to realize that blockchain technology, once you've put any information on it, any data on it, you cannot call it back, you cannot delete it, you cannot edit, all right? You cannot hack it, okay? So blockchain technology has made things a bit transparent, so that it can also help us curb corruption in a way that once you've done a transaction, you cannot delete. So anyone who wants to trace it back can be able to find, for example, where the money came from and where the money went to. So it helps with a lot of transparency. Then also, it has given us a lot of security, because once information has been input on blockchain technology, you cannot bring it down. You cannot even hack it. So which means once you've done anything, it means that the data that you've put on blockchain technology is going to be very, very safe, okay? Now, blockchain technology also came with the currency, which is now called the cryptocurrency. All right. So the cryptocurrency is also just money like any other, although it has very different advantages, and I'm going to share with you in comparison with paper money. Okay. So if we look at paper money, you're going to realize that we have different currencies. Number one, we have, for example, the US dollar. We have the dollar. We have the Kenya shillings. We have, for example, the kwacha. We have the naira. And we have so many other currencies out there. All right. Now you're going to realize with paper money that paper money is governed within a border, or it is confined within a country's border, which means if you have the Kenya shillings, you can only use this money in our country. All right. And if you go with it to any other country out there, you have to convert it to the currency of that country. However, you're also going to agree with me that is very powerful in a way that you can be able to use the dollar as it is in any other country across the world. So because of that, it gives it a lot of value, because the demand of this dollar is very, very high. So the reason as to why the demand is high is because the usage or the usability of the dollar is high. Okay. So because of that, it makes the dollar the standard of all the fiat currency or the paper money. That is why, if you wanted to know the value of the Kenya shillings, you're going to compare it with what? With the dollar. You cannot want to know the value of the naira and compare it with the Kenya shillings. At the end of the day, you have to compare it to the dollar for you to know the value. All right. So that is how powerful the dollar is. All right. Now, the same way, you're going to realize the cryptocurrency, we also have different currencies. So number one, we have the Bitcoin, of which most of us know about the Bitcoin. Number two, we have Ethereum. Then we have others called Ecoin. We have Tron. We have Dogecoin, and so many, over 200 other currencies. Okay. Now, the same way most people know about the dollar, is the same way most people know about the Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is highly used. Number one, Bitcoin is very, very highly used. And because of that, the demand of this same dollar is very high. And because the demand is very high, you're going to realize that the value of the Bitcoin also goes higher. All right. Now, I need you to remember one thing. With paper money, most of the time we only use it for exchange of goods for service, and so on. Now that means you cannot really use it to hold to hold value. But with cryptocurrency, I need you to remember that cryptocurrency, apart from using it as an exchange, you also use it as an asset. Okay? And as an asset, of course, you're going to agree with me that because it's an asset, it gains what? It gains value. All right? Just like buying land, you let it stay for a few years, then it's going to appreciate in value. So that is the beauty about cryptocurrency. However, you're going to realize also with paper money, because it is governed within a border, okay? It means if the government decides to print more money, it can do that. And once it prints more money, what happens to the money that is already in the market? The money that is in the market loses value. All right. However, with the cryptocurrency, because the government cannot print it, the government cannot duplicate it, you're going to realize that the number of cryptocurrencies that are there, for example, the number of Bitcoin that is in circulation cannot be printed. Okay. So that means the demand and supply doesn't change. So the supply of the cryptocurrency remains the same, but the demand keeps rising. So because the demand keeps rising, what happens? The value automatically goes higher. Okay, so those are some of the differences between the paper money and the cryptocurrency. Now, with that, let me share with you on how the 3 ways that you can make money using cryptocurrency. All right, especially in Africa. So the first one is through Forex trading. Okay. Although for me, I always tell guys, if you are not a pro in Forex trading, if you don't have facts about Forex trading, if you don't have the skills on Forex trading, kindly keep off. Before you are a pro, you're going to lose a lot of money. So when you're doing Forex trading and you're not a pro, there's a possibility of losing cash. All right. And so because of that, you have first to learn the skills. You must have the experience and all that. So the second way of making money through cryptocurrency is through buying and holding. Now, buying and holding basically means this. Let's say, for example, we talk about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, a few years ago, it was only 20,000 Kenya shillings. Okay. But the same Bitcoin today is 2 million Kenya shillings. So which means guys who bought the Bitcoin when it was at 20,000, let's for example, they bought 10 Bitcoins when it was only at 20,000, that means they spent around 200,000. But right now, because the same Bitcoin is valued at 2 million, with 10, that means they have 20 million Kenya shillings. So which means because they bought the Bitcoins and held them until they appreciated in value, they made the profit. However, you're going to agree with me, for you to make good profits in buying and holding, you must buy them in bulk so that you can make good profits. All right. Now, which means if you don't have enough money here, this cannot serve you so well. All right. Now, the third way is something we call smart contracts. Smart contracts. Now, smart contracts are self-executing programs, which once deployed on the blockchain technology, they cannot be deleted, they cannot be edited, they cannot be formatted, and they cannot be hacked. The only thing you can do to them is to update them. So what was first done on them by the founders, that is what they'll keep on doing until the end of time. All right. So like, for example, these smart contracts are designed to do specific duties. All right. And the smart contract that we are going to talk about is the smart contract that is deployed on Ethereum blockchain and the Tron blockchain. However, we are going to focus on Ethereum blockchain because number one, Ethereum is very stable. All right, very stable. Number two, Ethereum is 100% decentralized. And by decentralized, I basically mean, number one, they're not stored in a, let's say, for example, in a centralized system. Like, for example, money is like in Kenya, it is stored at the Central Bank of Kenya. But now, because the Ethereum is decentralized, it means it is not governed by anybody, not the government, not a private sector, not even the founders. Okay, so that gives it a lot of security, and also it gives you the confidence that you cannot lose your money. All right. Now, the reason why we want to talk about Tron is because the fluctuations in Tron is very, very unstable. Because you might invest 100,000 on Tron today, but because of fluctuation, you come tomorrow, you check your 100,000 is 20,000, which means if the money was a client's money, you're going to realize that you're not going to be in very good terms, because you might not be able to explain to them on how the fluctuations has been able to make them lose around 80,000 Kenya shillings. All right. So with Tron, we don't work with Tron. So we are going to talk about Ethereum. Okay. Now with Ethereum, I need you to understand that Ethereum is not controlled. It's not controlled, not even by the founders. All right. Not even the founders control Ethereum. Okay. Now, what we are going to talk about as the topic of today exactly is on a subject that is going to bring us on this control. Now, the founders of Ethereum had one idea in mind. The founders of Ethereum want to increase the value of Ethereum, okay? And because they want to increase the value of Ethereum, you're going to also remember that the value of Ethereum cannot be increased by the founders, because the founders don't have control over it, because Ethereum is 100% decentralized, which means the only way they can increase the value of Ethereum is by increasing the demand of Ethereum. And the only way to increase the demand of anything is by increasing the number of users who are using the same project or product. And the only way the founders of Ethereum understood that they could use to increase the value of Ethereum through increasing the number of users was to build a community. So they decided to build a community that is going to bring more users around Ethereum, so that the value of Ethereum will go higher. All right. And because of that, for you to build a community, you have to have something in common. So they decided to bring in a system, and the system is called the Forsage smart contract. Okay, the Forsage smart contract. Now remember, I said a smart contract is a self-executing program. So once it has been formulated and it has been put on the blockchain technology, it is going to run itself. It doesn't need a company. It doesn't need admins. It doesn't need management. All right. Now this Forsage smart contract is going to help you do two things. Number one, it is going to help you build a community so that you can increase the value of Ethereum. Number two, it is going to help you accumulate more Ethereums. Are you together? Now, why am I saying to build a community? What is the importance? So let me just show you the importance of building a community, so that you can agree with me on that. Now, let's go back a bit in history, 20 years ago. Okay, so 20 years ago, Safaricom was created. So Safaricom started running. But during this time, Safaricom only had two services. It had calls and it had SMSs. So these are the services Safaricom was offering. All right. Now, during this time, these guys built a community around these two services. When the internet revolution came in, what happened? Mobile money was introduced and M-Pesa was born. So when M-Pesa came in, you're going to realize that Safaricom did not go looking for a different community out there. It deployed this service on the same community that they had already created, or that they had already built. All right. So which means embracing M-Pesa was not difficult. 19 years later, Fuliza was introduced. when Safaricom had over 30 million subscribers. So they had a community of over 30 million people. So what happened? They introduced the service to the same community. They didn't go looking for another community out there. Okay, so that is the beauty of building a community. So you're going to agree with me that during this time, Safaricom was not interested in profits. Safaricom was interested in what? The numbers that they're going to get through what? Through building the community. So that whatever service they bring in is going to be easily embraced. Now, because of the same concept, the founders of Ethereum decided to build this community for two reasons. Number one, apart from increasing the value of Ethereum, they also wanted to make profits out of Ethereum. But you're going to realize because right now it is 100% decentralized, they cannot make profits out of it directly. They can only use Ethereum the way you and I will use Ethereum. So how will they make profits? Now, through this community, they decided that they'll bring two services. Service number one was to bring in a crypto ATM card. All right. Now, this crypto ATM card, number one, it's going to give you the ability to withdraw up to $20,000 from any ATM across the world. All right. And if you've been updating yourself, you're going to realize that Ethereum just partnered with Visa a few days ago. So which means we are going towards this. All right. So this ATM card will be going at 15,000 Kenya shillings. So you can imagine, once Ethereum builds a community of even 5 million guys, just 5 million, if every person comes to buy this ATM card at 15,000, that means it's 5 million times 15,000. That is good money. So they'll be making profits out of that. The second way that they make profit, or through the service they're going to bring in, is a school that will be teaching about blockchain technology. Okay, now why is this important? Remember, we cannot go ahead of innovation. All right, so the only thing we can do is to embrace it. So right now, because the world is going through towards blockchain technology, we need to have experts who will be able to talk about blockchain technology, who will be able to bring in more services on blockchain technology, especially on Ethereum, because it has been created in a way that other services can be deployed on it. All right, now this school is going to be deployed in different parts of the world, which means these guys will also be making profits through what? Through the community who will be using the schools. So the schools are going to make more profits because more people will be learning from it, people will be paying school fees and all that. So right now, the founders are not interested in profits. I need you to remember that. The founders are interested in the numbers that will build the community, which in turn will increase the demand of the Ethereum, and also the value of Ethereum will go higher. All right. Now we've seen the importance of building the community. Now, what is the importance of accumulating Ethereums? What is the importance? Now, just 4 months ago, one Ethereum was going at 10,000 Kenya shillings. All right. 2 months ago, one Ethereum was going at 34,000 Kenya shillings. All right. Around a month ago, it was going at 48,000. I need you to see the trend. All right. 2 weeks ago, it was at 58,000. Today, as we speak, it is at 63,000 Kenya shillings. All right. So what is happening? The value of Ethereum is going higher and it's going up so fast. But why is that? The reasons to why the value of Ethereum is going up is because of this system, the Forsage smart contract. Remember, this system is helping you build a community. So which means, for instance, let's talk of a practical example. Like, for example, Mr. Jeremiah, you are shown the business by someone, and through you are sharing to 4 other people or 3 other people. So what does that mean? Through you are going to bring 4 other people on board, or 3 other people on board, or 10 other people on board, which means the community will grow from you, one person, to 4 other people. From them, they're going to also bring other people, which means the community will keep on growing. So because of that, the value of Ethereum will definitely go higher. And that is why the growth of Ethereum is going up so fast. Okay. Now, what about accumulating the Ethereums? What is the importance of accumulating Ethereums? Now, right now, the value of Ethereum is at 63,000. So which means if we told you to buy like 20 Ethereums today, not everybody will be able to afford around, this is how much? This is 1.2 million, 1.3 million, 1.2 million. Not everybody can be able to afford that at a go. So this system is giving you the ability to start with the amount that you have, let's say for example, with one Ethereum, and accumulate more Ethereum, these 20 Ethereums, without having to go back into your pocket. Through what? Through leverage. So it gives you the opportunity to make money and accumulate more Ethereum through what? Through leverage. Now, how does that happen? So that one is going to take us to our platform on how this Forsage smart contract is going to help you build the community and also accumulate Ethereums together. Now, Forsage has two platforms. Platform number one is Forsage X3, and platform number two is Forsage X4. I'm going to be as simple as possible for you to understand this. Now, on Forsage X3, you make 100% commission from your direct referral. All right, what do I mean? For every person you're going to bring on board, you're going to earn 100% commission on what they're going to spend, or they're going to invest on their slots. I'm going to talk about the slots, okay? On X4, you earn from the team and the ecosystem. All right. Now, these are two platforms. So these platforms, for them to make you money, they have 12 streams of income each. All right. That help you accumulate the Ethereums, or that help you make the money. Now, I'm just going to draw the slots so that you can get to understand better. Slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 slots. Now, these are the streams of income. All right. Now, for this slot to make you money or help you accumulate Ethereums, you have to activate it. And the only way to activate it, you have to purchase it. All right. Now, all the slots, for you to make money in all the slots, you have to activate all of them. However, you're going to realize once I show you the prices is that the next slot, every slot here has its own individual price. All right. Now, we are going to assume that $1, 1 USD is equivalent to 100 Kenya shillings, so that we can do the calculations with ease. I'm not going to use Ethereums because the first slot is worth 0.025 Ethereums. So if we use the 0.025 or the decimals, it's going to be a bit difficult for you to understand. So I'm going to use currency, okay? And I'm going to use dollars, okay? Now, this first slot is worth $10. All right. This second slot is worth $20. This one is worth $40. This one is $80, $160, $320. This is $640. This is $1280. This is $2560. This is $5120. This is $10 to $40, and this is 20 for $80. So you're going to observe that the next slot is twice more expensive than the previous one. So slot number 2 is twice more expensive than slot number 1. Slot number 6, which is at $320, is twice more expensive than slot number 5, which is $160. Slot number 12 alone is 2 million, which is $20,480. Now, you're going to realize the next slot is twice more expensive than the previous one, and so is the income that each slot makes. So the next slot also makes twice more income than the previous one. But how does that happen? So we are going to talk about the two slots or the two platforms. All right. Now, let's talk about X3 so that first you understand the X3, then we talk about the X4. So X3, as I said, you make 100% commission from your direct referrals. All right. How does that happen? So let's say, for example, this is Jeremiah. Jeremiah, you come in and open 6 slots. You come open 6 slots. So slot number 1 will cost you $10, $20, $40, $80, $160, and $320. All right. Now, how will these slots help you make 100% income? So this is what happens. Now, this is Jeremiah. So Jeremiah, you come in and bring Irving. All right. Now, when Irving comes in, you are going to make 100% of what I'm going to spend in opening each slot. Not 100% of the money that I'll bring in, but 100% of what I'm going to spend in opening each slot. So what does that mean? When I come open my first slot, it means I'm going to spend $10 in opening this one slot. So what does that mean? You, as the person who invited me to the business, you're going to make 100% of what I'll spend in opening this slot 1. So your first slot will make the $10. So you're also going to realize that every slot can only hold a maximum of its worth. So if your slot is worth $10, it can only hold $10. It cannot hold $20 or less than that. Are you together? It will only hold more once the value of Ethereum has gone higher. And I will explain that later as when we are concluding. Now, which means when I open my second slot at $20, you will earn $20. When I open my third slot at $40, you'll earn that. I open this at $80, you'll earn $80. I open this at $160, you'll earn the $160. I open this at $320, you'll earn the $320, which means you're going to earn 100% of what I'm going to spend in opening the slots. Okay, now remember that Jeremiah, there's a possibility that Jeremiah might bring somebody who invests more than him or less than him. So if you bring somebody who invests less than you, let's say, for example, you bring somebody and they only invest on 4 slots, what happens? This person is going to spend $10, $20, $40, and $80. So you can only earn the maximum of the slots they open. So which means you'll earn the $10, the $20, the $40, and the $80. However, when they come and open the slots later on, you'll still come and earn the 100% of what they're going to spend. All right, I hope we are together. Now, there's also a possibility that you will come open, let's say, for example, the 5 slots. You open 5 slots, so it will cost you $10, $20, $40, $80, $160. So you add this, then you'll know the maximum, the amount. But now you bring somebody who is coming in with more slots than you. That means this person comes open slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, slot 6, and maybe slot 7. All right. So what happens? You can only earn to the maximum of the slots you've activated. All right. A good example. Let's say, for example, you want to withdraw 100,000 from M-Pesa. All right. But you come to M-Pesa A and you get that this guy only has a float of 40,000. So which means even if you want 100,000, you can only withdraw a maximum of 40,000. But because you still want the other 60,000, you'll have to go look for M-Pesa B so that you can withdraw the 60,000. So which means M-Pesa A only made 40,000, but this M-Pesa A lost the 60,000. So that is exactly what happens here also. You can only earn to the maximum of the slots you've activated. Okay, so that means this is what is going to happen. You can only earn in the first slot 100%, second slot 100%, third slot 100%, fourth slot 100%, and fifth slot 100%. But remember, this money needs to go somewhere. This slot 6, the money spent to open these slots needs to go somewhere. But now you, as the person who brought this direct, you don't have the slots. So what happens? This money is going to look for somebody else who has the slots, and that is the person who is going to earn the $320. So which means you're going to lose the $320. The same will happen to the $640. It's going to look for somebody who already has the slots, and that is the person who will earn the $640. So at the end of the day, you'll only earn 10 plus 20 plus 40 plus 80 plus 160, but you're going to lose the $320 plus the $640, which is, this is 0, 6, 9. You're going to lose $960, which means you're going to lose more money than you've already earned. All right? So for you not to lose money, what do you need to do? The 3 things that you can do once you've opened until this point, or once you've earned until this point. Number 1, you can decide to reinvest the money on X3. How? You come, once you've earned from slot 1 to slot 5, you use that money to open this next slot so that you don't lose the money. Or you can decide to reinvest the money on X4. Remember I said X4 you earn from him. Or you can decide, number 3, to withdraw the cash and use. All right? After all, we have bills to pay. Okay? So you can decide to withdraw. Now, I'm going to assume that you might choose either open for invest on X3. So let's assume that you decide to invest on. How is it going to be advantageous to you? All right? Now, this is what is going to happen. Let's say, for example, you open X4. And I remember I said X4 you earn from the team and the ecosystem. All right? Okay, you earn from the team and the ecosystem. Now, how does that happen? Now, let's assume this is you. You came in, you opened X3 slot, and you came and reinvested on X4. Okay, how is this going to make you money? Now you come, this is, let's say for example, this is Jeremiah. Jeremiah comes and introduces Ivan here. All right, now when Ivan opens X3, remember I said you are going to earn 100% of what the person you've introduced in the system has invested in the slots. So which means if this guy has invested on 7 slots, you'll earn on 7 slots, as long as you have the slots. All right. If you don't have the slots, you're only going to earn to the maximum of the slots you have. All right. However, when this person comes and opens X4, what happens? You are not the one who will earn this X4. This X4 will come and go to your upline, the person above you who has X4. If the person who directly brought you doesn't have X4, what happens? It is going to pass your upline and goes to somebody else who has it. All right. However, when this person, let's say for example, this is person A. When person A goes ahead and introduces person B, what happens? When person B opens X3, all the money that person B will use is going to be earned by person A, which means person A is earning 100% of X3. However, when person B opens X4, what happens? It is not person A who will earn. It will go to the upline of person A. All right. Now, what is the beauty of this system? Now, I know not most of us are good at recruiting, but now this system is going to favor everyone who is good at recruiting and also those who are not good at recruiting. Now, how is that? Let's say, for example, this is you. You only brought one person, that is person A. But person A went ahead and brought person B, person C, person D, and person E. So the person you brought brings 4 people on board. So which means when these persons open X3s, what happens? Person A is going to 100% of all the X3s. However, when they open X4s, what happens? You at the top, even though you only brought 1 person, you're going to earn all the X4s. So which means on X3, you earn 1 person, and on X4, you're going to earn from who? From 4 people. Okay, and that is why at the end of the day, you're going to realize that on X4, you're going to make more money than on X3. Are you together? Now that is the power of having both X3 and X4. X3 you earn directly from your effort, and X4 you earn from the team's effort. All right. Now, right now, our team is focusing on working on a target of 5 people each. 5 direct, at least 5 direct. Now, what is the important? We call it the power of 5. Okay. Now, as the power of 5, this is what is happening. So let's say, for example, this is you. You come in, you open X3 and X4. All right, only 5 directs. Now what is happening? You come, you bring person 1, come, you bring person 2, you bring person 3, you bring person 4, and you bring person 5. Now what is going to happen is that from all these persons, you're going to earn 100%. On X3, you'll earn 100% from 5 people. Right? All the X3s. So X3s from 5 people. However, you're going to teach these guys that you brought, your directs, you're going to teach them to only bring 5 people each as well. So this one brings 5, this one brings 5, this one brings 5, this one 5, this one 5. So which means on your X4, because you're going to earn X4 on these guys, what happens? On X4, you're going to earn from how many people? 25 people. So that is why, again, on X4, you're still going to earn more than your X3. All right. So that is why the money you make is not tied on the number of people you directly bring into the business. All right. Yeah. So I hope you've gotten that. And I don't know if you guys have any other question until that point. Any question until that point?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think we will still need just a slight recap.
Yes.
On this the last explanation, the last two explanations, just a recap on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one you need to redo that a little bit.
On X4. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go through it again.
But is there still anything else that you wanted to tell us?
No. That one first. Let's X4 was the part that I needed you to understand even better.
Okay. So, and then please bring emphasis on the point of there are many people who don't want to recruit.
Yes.
And they want to earn.
Awesome.
So please put some emphasis on that.
Awesome. Now, let's first go through the X4 again. Then we'll talk about those who want to get started but don't want to recruit. All right. Now, remember X4, I said you earn from the team and the ecosystem. So first, let's look at how you earn from the team. All right.
Okay.
Now, let's assume this is you. You came in and got started. So we have 2 platforms. We have platform 1, which is X3, and platform 2, which is X4. All right. Now, X3, we already talked about it on how you bring somebody directly and you earn 100%. So for every person that you're going to bring directly into the business, on their X3, you're going to earn 100%. But on their X4, you are not going to earn it. Now, this is what I mean. You come, this is you. You come, you bring person A. Okay. Now, when person A opens X3, what happens? You, because you are the one who has directly brought this person A, you're going to earn 100% of what they're going to spend in opening their slots. If it is 5 slots, you're going to earn 100%. If it is 12 slots, you're going to earn 100%. All right. However, when this person opens X4, you're not going to earn the X4. What is going to happen? This X4, the money this person will spend in opening X4 will go to your upline. In that case, I mean the person above you who has X4. If your direct upline doesn't have X4, it is going to go past him and go to the next person who has the X4s. All right, are we together until that point?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, remember this person A is also going to build his own business. So which means he might also go and recruit a person. Let's say, for example, person B or person C, person B. All right, so what happens? When person B opens X3, because he has been brought directly by person A, what happens? It is person A who will earn 100% of what person B will spend in opening X3s. Are we together?
Yes.
However, when this person B opens X4, what happens? Person B is not going to earn, person A is not going to earn X4. Yeah. He'll only earn X3. So which means the X4 will go to who? To the upline of person A, of which it is you. So which means X4, the entire of X4 goes past the direct to the upline of the direct.
Okay.
Okay, are we good until that point?
Good.
Now, remember, there's a possibility that you only bring one person. All right? Okay. You bring only one person. But this person that you brought goes ahead and brings more people than you, which means brings person B, brings person C, brings person D, and maybe brings person E. So this one person that you brought has gone ahead and brought four people. So what happens? Person A is going to earn 100% on X3 of this person. Again, X3 of person C, X3 of person D, and X3 of person E. So all these X3s will go to who? To person A. All right?
I thought the third one will go up.
No, okay. It is not usually the person that goes up. I'll explain that. Let me finish that, and then I'll explain about the pass up. Okay. Awesome. Now, the third will, all these, the X3s will come to the person who directly brought them. However, the X4s, all the amount they'll spend on X4 is going to who? To you, because you are the one who brought their upline. Are we together?
Yes.
Awesome. Have you understood about that on X4? Any question on that again? Before we move to the next question?
That's good. That's good. You can move on.
Awesome. Now, there are people who want to get started. They want to put in money and they wouldn't want to recruit more people. Now, that means they'll have to open more of X4 than of X3. All right? Now, for you to make good money on X4 as an investor, okay, without bringing in more people on board. Now, I'm going to remind you, and you're also going to agree with me that as an investor, you must have money. We don't have broke investors, so which means you need to put in more slots on X4. So for you to make money on X4 without having to recruit and make money smoothly, you must have at least slot 9 and above. So slot 9, slot 10, slot 11, and slot 12. So which means you have to spend over 600,000 on X4 so that you can comfortably make money without having to recruit. All right? Now, this is what I'd advise. All right? This is what I'd advise on a professional level. What I'm going to advise is that I'd prefer you go for both X3 and X4. Why? Remember, there's a possibility that you can share to anyone. It could be a brother, it could be a sister, it could be anyone else, it could be a friend. Now, why is that? Because if you only have X4, without X3, it means even if you recruit anyone, whether it is a sibling, whether it is a loved one, whoever, it means you are not going to earn anything on your X3. Even if you bring 100 people directly and you don't have X3, you won't earn anything. Now, the only thing you're going to earn is $10 because when you're doing registration, the system will open for you 2 slots, 1 slot on X3 and 1 slot on X4, worth $10 each. Now, which means because you have these 2 slots, on X3, you'll only make 1,000 bob. So even if you bring 100 people, from those 100 people, you'll only be making 100, you'll only be making 1,000 bob from each one of them. Even if they invested $1 million, you'll only earn 1,000 bob. All right? Now, why would I advise you to go for both? Now, remember, the person who will be recruiting more, let's say, for example, somebody who has X3 and they only bring 5 people. That means on X4, this is on X3, they only bring 3 people. On X4, it means they are going to earn from 25 more people. But because you only have X4, you'll have to depend on the ecosystem. So which means the person who will be having, who would have recruited is going to make more money than you who only has the X4s. All right, so it's going to take you a bit of time to make more money on X4. All right, so because I know all of us cannot miss 5 people each, I know we can get at least 5 people from our contact list that we can do business with. I'd advise you go for X3 and X4 so that it gives you more leverage on making more income. All right? Have I answered you on that?
Yes, yes.
Awesome. Any other?
How do we make money from the ecosystem again? Maybe you repeat that.
How do we?
How do you make money from the ecosystem?
How do you earn money from the ecosystem? Awesome. So let me just share my screen. Allow me to share my screen. All right, so this is the ecosystem. Let me just show you the ecosystem. So this is my account. Can you see it clearly? Jeremiah, can you see it clearly? Hello?
Yes, I can see.
Awesome. Now, how do you, now this is the system. How do you make money from X4? So first of all, let me just take you through from the top so that you can first also understand the system, so that you can also come and talk about X4 and how you make money from X4. So X4 has different ways of making money, all right? Now, first of all, this system, the Forsage smart contract, started running in February this year, just the same way Safaricom was running for 19 years before they introduced the Fuliza system. So the same thing is happening here. So Ethereum has been running since 2015, but now the system Forsage started running in February this year. Now, since it started running, remember the goal was to build a community, or the goal is to build a bigger community. So since it started, it has already built a community of only 1 million people. All right, 1 million people, 717,000. Now, out of this 1 million people, 839 people have joined in the past 24 hours. All right. Now, out of these 1 million people, again, you're going to realize that 936,000 people have already earned from the system. So which means if we do as a percentage, you're going to realize that this is over a 95% success rate. So most people who are getting in are actually making money, unless they're just not taking the business seriously, all right? Now, with this number of people who have already earned, the system has paid
You are lost. Your sound is.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Sorry, call Milan. Call Milan. Sorry about that. Somebody was calling. Now, as I was saying, in the past, with the 936,000 people, the system has paid them 511 million US dollars. If we convert that into Kenya shillings, that is over 55 billion Kenya shillings in only 10 months. All right, which I believe is very good income. All right. Then if you come here, this is my ID. So once you get in, you get an ID, all right, that and it gives you anonymity, because the people who have made way more money, and once you use the proof of, I don't know, we use photos, we use full names, it becomes a bit of a challenge, all right? So we use IDs. Now with this, with my account, you'll realize that I have a direct of only 8 people, all right? Only 8 people, and I've made $7,198, which means I've accumulated 13 Ethereums since I got started, all right? Now with this 7198, if we come to the calculator and we do 7198 times the value of the dollar right now, which is 109, that is over 700,000, all right? Now the question is, in how long? So if we come here and we look at the slots, this is my X4, my X3, you're going to realize the X3 itself, because I've recruited more people, you're going to realize I've made over $5,000 from X3 alone. On X4, I've only made over $1,000, all right? So I've made more money on X3 than I've made on X4. Then if you come here, you're going to realize that on my X3, I've opened 8 slots, all right? You're going to realize that I've opened 8 slots, but on X4, I've only opened 5 slots. So right now I've concentrated more on opening the X3 slot so that I can make money on X3 and reinvest on my X4. Are you together? Now with X3, basically, as I said, you make money from the people you've directly brought. So as for my case, I've brought 8 people. So which means out of the 8 people, all of them have opened the first slot. Out of the 8, all of them have opened until the second slot. All right. However, out of the 8 people, not all of them have gone up to the 4th slot. So only 7 have gone to the 4th slot. So which means when this one person who is left behind opens the 4th slot, what does that mean? I'll still make more money. All right. Now, out of my 8 people, you're going to realize only one person has opened to the 8th slot like myself. Now let's look at this. What if all these people only open the 8th slot? How much will it make me? Remember, at the center of this, it's written 3.2. So that is the value of this slot in terms of Ethereum. So that is 3.2. We take 3.2 Ethereum times the value of Ethereum right now, which is around 60, let's put at 62,000. So which means that slot alone will make me 198,000, all right? With this 198,000, if we multiply by the people who have not reached, that is 7 people, that slot alone, slot 8 alone, is to make me 1.3 million, all right, from slot 8 alone. Now remember the slot from slot 3 onwards to slot 8. So once all these 7 people have gotten to slot 8, you're going to realize that I'm going to make way more money than what I've already made. Okay, so that is the beauty of the system. So you'll keep on making money as these people continue upgrading their system or upgrading their slots. Okay, now that is about X3. Now on X4, this is what happens. You're going to earn in 4 different ways. Number 1, you'll earn from the partner invited by you. So that means if I'm the one who has invited you, you can also earn from me. I've never seen this in any other network marketing or in any other company. So here you can also earn from the person who invited you.
Repeat that again.
Now here, all right. Here I'm saying you can earn from the partner who invited you into the business. So that means you can earn from your upline on X4. You can earn from your upline. Are we together? Okay. I'm going to explain that. Again on X4, you can earn from overflows from app. Okay, so that is money that is in the ecosystem from the people who joined the business way ahead of you. As long as you have more slots, you can also earn from the people who already joined before you. Are you together? It doesn't have to be your inviter only.
Okay.
The third way, you earn from people who are below you, which we call them the bottom overflow. Now, these overflows come from anywhere. It can come from your direct people, your downlines directs, or your cross lines. Are we together?
Okay.
Then now this one, the fourth way is you earn from partner who is ahead of his inviter. What does that mean? Let's say, for example, Jeremiah, you have 5 slots. Then you invite me, and I come get started with 7 slots, which means I have 2 more slots ahead of you. All right. So which means you're going to lose earnings of these 2 slots that I'm ahead of you, and it will go to somebody else who has more slots than you.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So that is partner invited. Partner who is ahead of the inviter. All right.
Okay.
Now those are the 4 ways that you earn from the system. Now with this, if you have more money, if you have more slots, you're going to attract more money from the entire ecosystem. So everybody who is being passed by the money, it comes to somebody who has more slots. That is how also investors make money. Are we together?
Okay.
Awesome. Now, to just touch on the question that you had asked about the pass up. All right.
Yeah.
Now, this is what happens on X3. Let's start with the pass up on X3. We have both on X3 and on X4. So on X3, this is what happens. This is you. All right. When you bring person 1, you will earn 100% from person 1. All right.
Okay.
From person 2, you'll also earn 100%. Okay.
Okay.
On person 3, we have something we call reopening, which means it reopens these 2 slots to earn over and over. Okay. Now remember, it is like you have a float. Let's say, for example, our M-Pesa wallet. Our M-Pesa wallet holds to a maximum of 300,000, right? Now, for you to add more money into your wallet, there are 2 things you can do. Either you withdraw the money, or you send the money to your M-Shwari, or you send to somebody else, so that you can open the float, for it to earn more money or to hold more money. So the same thing happens here. But now I need you to remember and put something in mind. This person 3, it doesn't mean that this person 3 is donated to your upline. That is not what happens. It is not that person is not donated to your upline.
Yeah.
Are we together?
Yeah.
This is what happens.
Yeah.
This is what happens. On X3, every slot has 3 entries. Slot 1 has 1 entry, second entry, third entry. Okay. Slot 2 also has 3 entries. Slot 3 also has 3 entries. So every slot that you have has 3 entries. Now, what is a pass up? This is how the pass up works. When you have your first direct person, they are going to fill the first entry. Okay.
Yeah.
When let's say, for example, you have 3 slots. Okay. Then you bring another person who comes and opens the same number of slots like you. So that means they come and open this. They fill this 2 here, here, and here, because they have also gotten started with 3 slots like you. All right. So you'll earn 100% from that person. Person 2 also comes and opens all the slots, the first slot, the second slot, and the third slot like you. So you'll still earn 100%. However, when this person 3 comes in, if you still only have 3 slots, and this person only opens the first slot, what happens? This money, you won't earn it. It will come and re-empty these two slots so that you can come and make more money when you bring your fourth person. Are you together?
Okay, okay.
Although there's a possibility that you can come and open slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5. But you bring person 1 opens the first slot, person 2 opens the first slot, person 1 opens the first slot, the second slot, and the third slot. All right? The second person that you bring also opens the first slot, the second slot, and the third slot. But the third person that you bring comes and opens the same number of slots as you. So which means when this person opens this first slot, it means he's the third person to open this slot 1. So which means you will not earn this, it will go to your upline as pass up, right?
Yeah.
The third person also comes and opens the second slot. He's also still the third person to open the second slot. So which means this will also do a reopen. It will go to your upline. All right. The same to the third slot. The third person will still be the third person to open the third slot. So what happens? It will go to the upline. So which means it will reopen these slots to have 3 more other ways of, to have 2 more entries to make you money. However, if this third person has come and opened 5 slots as you, what happens? On the fourth slot, because there's no other entry, he will be the first person to open this slot. True or false?
Yes.
So which means you will earn 100%. All right? Because he's still the first person to open the 5th slot, you will still earn 100%. So you don't lose the entire money. You'll only lose the ones that you've already filled. But that is not even losing because it will help you reopen this slot so that you can earn more and more. Are we together? So you don't lose the person. It is just some money that is going to be used to reopen the slots. Awesome. Any other question?
I think we are good now.
Okay.
Very good.
Awesome. So that is basically it. And if in case you have any other question, feel free to ask.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we have your number also.
Yes.
We will be together. We really
Awesome.
appreciate your time, taking time to really explain. That was so, so clear.
We ask,
really appreciate it.
Thank you. Yes, you can ask.
Go ahead.
All right. So, Ivan, thank you for that very powerful presentation. I would like to, I want to ask
Yes.
about you, if you don't mind. Do you mind telling me a bit about you? Do you mind telling us
about
a bit
me?
about yourself? Yes.
What I do and or how I got to this.
Yes. Yes, and how you got to this as well.
Awesome. So before Forsage, I was doing network marketing in a different company. I was in Alliance. I don't know if you've heard of Alliance in Motion Global.
Okay.
Yes, AIM Global. Yes, I was there for 2 years. All right. And when I saw Forsage, I decided to look into the effort I was putting in the...
From X4, the one that goes to the ecosystem, you talked about that, right?
Yes.
How is it decided where it falls, who it goes to in the ecosystem?
Awesome. Now on X4 is way more complicated because that one, even arranging people, it's not arranged by you personally, it's arranged by the system. Now what do I mean? Let me just share with you my screen again so that you can see what I mean. So if we go to this on X4, you're going to realize when I open my X4, let's say, for example, let's look at the first slot of X4. You're going to realize when I opened this slot on X4, the first slot, it went to this matrix with this person with ID 98848. All right, can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes. However, when I opened my second slot, let's go to the second slot of the same X4, you're going to realize the second slot was placed on a totally different person, ID 996658. So these two IDs are different. True or false?
Yeah.
These two
True.
IDs are different. Now, what happens with X3 is that, or with X4, I mean, is that when you open a slot, it places your slot on a different matrix, on somebody else's matrix. It could be the same person in your team, or it could be even from somebody in Nigeria or the US. Now, what is the advantage of that? Now, this is how the investors come to make money. Let's say, for example, you've opened all the way to slot 9 or even to slot 12, okay? You come open until slot 12, all the slots. Now, what happens is that when somebody else opens the slots, even if you've opened ahead of your upline, let's say, for example, I'm the one who brought you, but you've opened the 12 slots, but I have not opened it. When I come open, there's a possibility that I might earn from you. So on that slot, I become your upline. Are we together?
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that means, let's say, for example, I open this slot, and somebody else, even in the US, decides to open that slot. The system might put that slot on my matrix, whether we know each other or we don't. So in that slot alone, I'll make 51.2 Ethereums, of which if we look at 51.2 Ethereums times the value around 65,000, I'll make 3.3 million from somebody I totally don't know. You understand? Now let me give you a practical example. I hope I'll remember the ID. Let me just log out from mine. I think it's 86, is it? 8679. 8679, if I'm not wrong. Awesome. Now this guy has opened 12 slots on X3 and 12 slots on X4. So he went all in. All right. Now I need you to look at, let's look at the 12th slot. Now you're going to realize on the 12 slots alone, he has 12 people who have made him money in that slot. 13 people, I mean, who have made him money in that slot. Are you together? So which means that is 3.3 million times 13 people. Now, if we open this slot and we see the transaction, that is that slot alone makes you over 3.3 million, right? So that is 3.3 million times the number of people who have opened it, of which it's how many? 13 people.
13 is 12.
Yes. Now, I want us to have opened this 12 slot, and I want us to see how many people have helped him make money in this slot, if it is the same person or totally different people. Are you together?
Yes,
now,
we're together.
Let's look at these two slots. You can see the colored slots with the ID numbers inside. All right? Now, on X4, you're going to realize the first two entries that you have, the first two at the top, it has drawn an arrow going up. That means the money you make in those two slots, you don't earn it, it goes to your upline. All right, that is why it has shown the arrow, which means payment to the superior above. Now, if you look at these IDs, these are totally different people. ID 13423 and ID 11613. These are totally different people. So in this ID, in this slot alone, he has made money from two people that he totally doesn't know. Look at his ID. His ID is 8679. And this guy is joined later before him. These are his downlines, way below the ecosystem, right? Now, if we come here on the transactions of this account, let's go from the start. If you look at these IDs, you can see the date and you can see the ID, right?
Yeah.
You can see that this guy on the same on the same slot, he has earned from totally different people. Can you see that? We have
Yes.
ID 17, 67, 35, we have ID 14, 306, we have ID 13, 42, 3, all the way. All these people have made him money in only that slot.
Wow. Wow.
So that slot alone, with 13 people, he has made money from totally different people that he doesn't even know. Yes, so that is the beauty about X4. So it can place somebody else whom you don't even know to that. But when it does a re-entry or a reopen, okay, like for example, you can see this written on 26th, there's a reopen, right? This one that it has drawn something like a circle. Now this circle means that it did a reopen. So it re-emptied your slots. So when it empties your slot, it changes the matrix. It changes you from the matrix that you are, and it places you on a totally different other matrix. So that is why you can be able to earn from totally different people in a period of time.
Wow. So this guy on that slot alone is made, is it $363,000? Yes,
he has made 339. He has made, let's look at this. That is 51.2 times 65,000. That is 3.3 times 13 people. That is 43.26 million.
Now, I would like to earn like that. So tell me, what do I need to do?
For you to earn like this, you go all in. Let me show you. As I said, the first thing I showed you guys is this. This guy went all in. On X3, he opened all the slots, all the 12 slots. Now, if you look even on X3 alone, the 12th slot alone that makes him 3.3 million, he still has 10 people. So that means on that slot alone, he has made again over 50 million, over 30 million, I mean.
People have introduced, sorry.
Now, that one is where he has gone all in again. He has introduced 1,567 people.
Personally?
Personally, yes, direct.
Wow. How does someone introduce those number of people, man?
By going all in, going massive. Now, you can also see the amount of money he has made. Crazy, crazy income. This is over 200 million.
Now, my question is, would it be possible, do these people speak to you guys? I mean, are they able to speak to members, like to encourage them?
Okay, most people, like for example, for us, we have also team members who are making it crazy here. And those are the ones that we meet. For this one, I'm told he's a Nigerian. So we haven't met him personally, but we admire his work. And this is what I can tell you. It is not about the number of people you bring in. Let me tell you why. If we look at the first slot, all of them, all the people have opened the first slot, 1567, right? If we go all in, you'll realize from the second slot, almost half of them didn't open the second slot. All of them only opened the first slot.
Yeah.
All right.
What about
now? For those who opened more slots, let's look. The people who opened the bigger slots from slot 8 and above, from all the 15,000 people, only 25 opened until slot 8.
Yes.
All right. And only 10 went all the way to slot 12. Now look at this. It is not about the number of people. It is about the quality of people you bring in. Okay, you can come in with 10 people like this guy, but from these 10 people, you go, all of you go all in and decide to go for 12 slots each.
Okay.
Now, if you go for 12 slots each, that means all of you are going to make, like for example, right now it is over 6 million to open from slot 1 to slot 12. So if you have 5 people and all of them open from slot 1 to slot 12, it means you're going to make over 6 million from each one of them. That is on X3 alone. On X4 again, if these people bring their 10 people each and they all open all the way from slot 1 to slot 12, like these 13 people, what happens? You still make over 6 million from each one of them, all those 10 people. So you're going to realize from only a few people, 10 people, you can be able to make that crazy income without having to go for 15,000 people. For 1,500 people, I mean. So it is just about, you know, I have always believed that leverage is not on the numbers. Leverage is on the quality of people you bring on board.
Ivy.
Yes. Yes.
Show us an example, if at all you have any.
Yes.
Last question from me.
Last
question from me, sorry.
Somebody who was not recruited.
Sorry, can I go?
Okay. Somebody who was not recruited. Can I remember the ID? Let me show you first the ID of somebody who has only recruited one person.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. That is 950. This is a South African, a friend to my upline. So for him, he has one goal. He only wants to go for people with the who can go for more slots. Okay. So this guy, ID 950 only has one direct referral. And with only one direct referral, this guy has made over $92,000. So $92,000, if we do that calculation, 92,000 times 109. So this guy has made over 10 million from only one direct referral. Okay. Now this is what happened for him. So this guy, he came and also went all in. So he opened all the slots on X3 and he opened 11 slots on X4. All right. Now you're going to realize on X4, the same person he recruited has opened all the way to 12 slots on X3. All right. Now, how much has he made on X3? If we look at this, on X3, he has made $57,000. That is over 5 million. And on X4, he has made $34,000. That is from the ecosystem, because he only has one person. And if this person has also brought people, that is how he has earned. All right. Now, on X4, you're going to realize he also has only one person who has opened all the way to slot 11 like him. That is why he has one person from there. Are you together? So with only one person, this guy has made over 10 million. So what if he had 10 people who have invested just like him? That means that is over 100 million.
That'll be awesome.
Yes.
A quick
really
question
awesome.
from me, Mr. Ivan.
Yes.
Who is the top earner in Kenya so far? Would you know?
I wouldn't know exactly, but I'm sure my upline is making some good income. I don't have his ID though, but I'd really like you to meet up with him. He's making very good income, good income, and he doesn't like sharing his ID much. Pardon?
Would you estimate like how much?
Not really, because I think he's running 11 slots each on X3 and X4. And the investments he has been able to make through that, I can be able to tell that he's making some good income, because he's been in the industry for 5 years. So he knows what he's doing. So that is why I believe he's making good income. I can't really estimate. I don't want to guess. It's called Eric Kisa.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, Eric Kisa.
He was doing presentation.
Yeah, right? Yes, the one was doing the presentation. Right now he's in Mombasa. But once he's back, I would really like us to you guys to meet up with him, because there's more you can also learn from him, because he's been in this industry for quite some time.
Thank you. That's all from me today.
Awesome. Any other question? Sir Jeremiah, you had a question?
Yeah, I think my question has been answered. You've answered me. But if you get somebody who has not recruited at all and has made money by investment, that's the one.
Yes. Awesome. I'm going to I know some people use them. Let me just get the screenshots and the IDs. Yeah. Then I'll send you so that you can be able to also log in and check on how many slots they went in for and how much they have made and in how long.
Okay.
Right? Although for me, what I'd advise, for what I've seen, the guys who have more slots on X3 always make more money. The only difference is that the person who recruits is going to make more money than him faster, because he has more people working with him. Yeah.